This is by far and away the most popular foam that I use. Reason being is this foam has a lot of detail that you can do to it. It's a dense foam. However, when you buy this, it's going to come in a 4x8 sheet. And let me show you another sample I have here prepared. It's going to have a plastic covering on it. It's a vapor barrier. That's why they sell this foam. It's for insulating your home. So not only are you going to use the foam, but you can use the vapor barrier to keep out cold or to keep in the warmth. I want you to remove the plastic. Sometimes it's easy to remove, sometimes it's more difficult. But as you see, it should come off of the foam in one piece. I've already removed the plastic from the other side, so keep in mind that there will be two pieces of plastic that you need to remove. Now you might say, Mike, it looks like the foam cutter is warm enough to go through the vapor barrier. It is. But what's going to happen is it's going to cut through and start to melt that vapor barrier, that plastic sheet, become gummy, sticky, and stringy. So remove the plastic first. The blue foam, again, probably the most popular. You can see why here. I have my little bridge. My little bridge with all the detail. This is made of 3 pieces of blue foam. I'm going to show you how I simply work with this. I also have my large bridge. I also have my tunnel portals. I have one here, and I have one here of a different style. Keep in mind, with foam cutting, you can make any size tunnel portal you need. If it's a single portal, a double portal, whatever size you need, this is the simplest and most accurate way to make your tunnel portals. So let's show you how it's done. Turning on my foam cutter, I should tell you at this point it's been laying on the table. It only takes about 15 seconds to operate. It takes about 20 seconds to cool down. So safety always is the key word here with the original Tippi. Again, I'm going to take my wire brush and clean the blade and double check my mounts. This is what you saw at the show. You want to do the little bridge or an opening on your layout? Here it comes. Done. There is my opening. Again, here is my waste piece. That goes right into the garbage. Now here's what's really nice. If you don't like what you see, what do? Simply take it and you start all over again. There's hardly any waste with foam. But keep in mind, foam is very inexpensive. You can make a couple of mistakes in the learning process or in your most popular layout design and still throw away the pieces that don't work. Now I'm going to go into the most important part of the demonstration that most people tell me at the show is their favorite. And that is how to construct retaining walls. You will notice here that I have a retaining wall. Why are they so popular? Model railroaders love them. The problem is they're $10, $12, sometimes $15. Mine, made out of blue foam, maybe 10 cents. There are several ways of doing this. At the show, I do them freehand. Let me turn my tool back on. And I have a straight edge. It's a basic steel straight edge. I use steel because, of course, the blade of the Tippi will become so warm it'll melt the plastic ones. I lay it on my blue foam. I lay in my first course of brick, my second course of brick, and my third. I make it as large as I want. I lay in as many courses as I need. Now, just like a paintbrush, I take my foam cutter and I start laying in my mortar lines. Close together, far apart. You know you'll do better at home. In fact, you can measure these, and I'll show you how I do that in a second. But there is your brick retaining wall. Now you say, Mike, I do like the brick, and let me show you a very fine example. This is a brick retaining wall that I copied off of a commercial piece. It has the step downs. I have block in the black, and I painted it red with a nice cream finish to bring out the mortar lines. You might like brick, but a lot of people, let me show you the back, they like the stone. If that's what you want to accomplish, let me show you how easily that's done. Let's move this aside, turn my tool back on. Again, cleaning the blade to remove all the excess. I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to tighten my thumb screws. Now I take my wall that is brick and I'm going to magically turn it into stone. all I do now is I start laying in my impressions. I go back and forth, up and down, and I have some flecks in there that can come off. But there, let me just remove those. There's my retaining wall. And I guarantee you, this is one of a kind, because you did it freehand. Now let me show you one more trick. I'm going to take my stippling brush. It's a wire brush, stiff steel bristles. I'm going to take it, I'm going to bang straight down on top of the foam. I've now turned my regular block into cinder block. And that's how incredibly simple it is to work with foam. Laying this aside, I want to go into the #1 accessory for the original Tippi, and that is called the Kopi Attachment. You'll notice it is a large piece of brass that looks like it's in the form of a coping saw. What it does is it will cut foam for you 5 inches long, 4 inches thick. And we're going to show you that application here in a second once we put the Kopi onto our tool. I'm going to take my original Tippi body and I'm going to remove my blade. I'm going to remove one of the thumb screws completely the way out. I'm going to take my Kopi attachment and I'm going to put it onto my original Tippi body. I want you to line up the holes, pick up the thumb screw, and replace the thumb screw in the open hole. This way you will now attach the Kopi to the tool itself. Next comes the wire. These again are specifically designed wire in a smaller diameter. We put it into the open brass mount and we tighten it down. Now I want you to take this wire and simply wrap it around the Kopi top and tighten it down. I already have one prepared here, and we're going to go ahead and demonstrate how it's used. Notice how my thumb screw is holding down the top wire. As with the original Tippi, from time to time you want to make sure that all your mounts are tight. Now let me show you an example of a piece of foam that we can cut with the Kopi. If you like to recycle, and I hope you do, this is a piece of foam that was destined for the landfill that came out of a microwave box. Let me show you, it takes about 20 seconds for the Kopi to warm up. Let me show you how you can take a piece of what would otherwise be garbage and turn it into a wonderful piece of art. I'm going to take my Kopi attachment, mount it to my original Tippi body, and I'm going to slice through my microwave packing box. Notice what I'm doing. I'm slicing up and down. You might say, Mike, is that necessary? Yes, it is. Because the heat will dissipate along the blade. This way, I'm able to use the optimum amount of heat for peak performance. Again, my foam does not melt. That's what's wonderful about the Tippi. I simply take it off, throw my waste piece away, and you are now looking at the start of a beautiful project that otherwise was headed for the landfill. Now we do have a longer version of our DVD available, giving you more in-depth detail. We're going to show you how to use the Kopi attachment, which is an attachment for our tool that'll sculpt foam up to 4 inches thick. We'll also show you how we use our new 072 blade set, as well as how to paint and scenic some of our foam. I invite you to look over that DVD on our website. If you are already a Tippi customer, you should have received the following: our original tool with the turquoise handle, which includes the detail blade. You will also receive in that same package the bonus factory blades. That's the large round, the large square, and the needle nose. Along with that, you will receive the wire cleaning brush. If you are not a Tippi customer at present time, I invite you to visit the website for more information.